Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Game Master Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video I'm going to be talking about Dune. In particular, the Dune RPG, which is part of Modiphius's 2D20 system line, and yet another IP that Modiphius had managed to acquire. I would assume sometime around 2021, perhaps earlier than that, maybe 2020. And they started working on this RPG, and it coincided with the newest 2021 Dune movie, which, as many of you probably know, Dune 2 is out now in the theaters, and I'm actually planning on seeing that on Saturday. So how did I get here? Because this is an RPG that has been around now for over 3 years, and I just didn't go to it. And perhaps that was some timing issue. Perhaps it was just a I was not as big of a fan of Dune as an IP, even though I enjoyed the 1984 movie, and I had listened to the first of the Dune novels on audiobook and enjoyed them both immensely. I just didn't get around to actually jumping in on Modiphius's, Dune IP. So, I had passed that up for, about 3 years or so. And sometime early last week, or possibly even the week prior to, my older brother told me that he was going to get tickets to go see Dune 2. And I told him, I was like, I haven't even seen the first one yet. So this past Tuesday, I actually got onto Netflix and watched Dune 1, so the 2021 Dune with Timothy Chalamet and others, Zendaya, and so on. And I really enjoyed the movie. I was like, wow, I was really quite surprised. And doing a comparison between the two, the 1984 and the 2021, I would put them essentially on equal footing. I think that the 1984 movie had covered more of the story in less time, but the 2021 movie still had a very decent pace to it, even though it was a little bit longer. I believe it was like 155 minutes or so compared to 137 minutes. So the older movie was shorter and covered more of the story from the time that from the time of the Atreides are first arriving to Arrakis, and Paul basically rising to become this chosen one kind of storyline. So it's a very chosen one storyline that you would later see in Star Wars. Remember, Dune predates Star Wars by almost 2 decades, I believe. So, or about 15 years or so, let's say. So, yeah. So in comparison between the two movies, I think they're both exceptional, and I was really pretty excited now to go see Dune 2, having seen the first 2021 movie. So that prompted me to say, you know what? I knew Modiphius had the Dune IP, and let me take a look at it. And so I started doing that. I also started doing a little bit of research. I said, I remember playing a Dune video game, whether it was on, it might have been on like Atari or, early PlayStation or something, sometime in the early 80s. to mid 80s, I remember playing a Dune video game. So I went on Steam and I was like, well, let me see what is out there for Dune on video, because this is an IP now that we see blockbuster movies being made of, and the new Dune movie is absolutely a blockbuster. I mean, when we look at its budget, it had a $165 million budget, and yet the box office it made 434 million. So it kind of hit that 3 times mark for it to be considered a very good success. All right, so definitely a blockbuster. And the new measure now for IPs, at least in the tabletop role playing space, I think is that, is there is there a movie or TV or web show attached to it? Is there also is there novelization attached to it? Is there video games attached to it? And then is there the signs of some longevity? And I want to touch on that as well. Modiphius came out with an excellent iteration of the Conan the Barbarian IP with its 2D20 system, and that was the first of their 2D20 systems. And it's an absolutely phenomenal system. It works really, really well with the Conan setting, the Hyborian Age setting, and but they lost the license, and so now that is basically a dead tabletop game, even with all of the supports that it had, especially in video gaming. It's still that the license shifted, and it remains to be seen what Heroic Signatures does with tabletop role playing and the Conan IP that they now hold. When I looked at Dune here, I was at least happy to see that Modiphius is coming out with an expansion, and they seem to be doing this very, very smartly, because the first role-playing game for Dune came from Modiphius in 2021 to coincide with the movie, and now they're coming out with an expansion that is once again going to coincide with the movie. So Dune 2 is coming out, or is presently out now, and they have this upcoming expansion that's going to. So it is a very, very good sign, and that's what made me start to lean towards actually picking up this game system. So I know that's a long, long intro to get into it. I just wanted to give you some, some background into what I'm looking at here, and why I'm making some of the decisions that I'm going to most likely make. All right. So without further ado, let's just take a real quick look at the quick start. You can get the quick start directly from the Modiphius website for free. So let's take a look at that quick start right now. So here we go. I'm going to expand the view so you can see, and I'm not going to do a full breakdown of this. I was happy to see that the technical advice, Brian Herbert and Kimberly Herbert, and the Herbert Properties team. So clearly there is going to be a very good connection to the lore of of the content, and the one thing that I think that Modiphius does very well, when they're constrained by the property holders of the IP to stick to the lore, they do so. All right. So glad to at least see that. The other thing that really caught my notice here was that it's Legendary, which is the movie studio, Modiphius, which is the TTRPG, and then Gale Force 9, which has the connections to video gaming, and that is also going to include Funcom, which is a very, very good massively multiplayer online game uh, developer out there, and I'm going to show you some glimpses of that as we go through. So here's the introduction, and again, I'm not going to spend too much time with this, but it is the 2d20 system. So you need 20-sided dice for this. Minimum is 2, but as many as 5 d20s. You'll need some tokens to mark off both momentum and determination, as well as, I mean, in Conan it's called Doom, but here it is called, I just drew a blank, and I was going through it, threat, sorry. So momentum and determination are units that the player can use in order to enhance their chances of being successful. And threat is something that the game master holds in a pool as well, where they can submit the player characters to additional challenges and such. Personally, I tended not to use threat or doom in Conan. I felt that as the game master, I could just, increase the threat if I felt that it needed to in those circumstances and whatnot. So I didn't need some token to empower me to do so. I just used my own common sense. But anyway, it's a really, really solid system, especially momentum and determination. I really like the way that they work, and it will generate that real cinematic, heroic, in this case sci-fi, heroic fantasy or heroic sci-fi action that takes place. So it is a system that moves very, very quickly, and it is very cinematic, and just a lot of fun, loads of fun to play. So, and consistent, very, very consistent with Modiphius is their artwork is phenomenal. Their layouts are extremely good, and and the writing is when they stick to content, stick to the lore. When they're forced to stay with the lore, they are pretty rock solid. So it goes through. So every character has drives. They have 5 drives. They're going to have a rating of between 4 and 8, and that sets the target number. So basically, it's a roll under system. So roll under on the d20s. You need to roll 2 d20s. In general, the basic roll is 2 d20. If you roll a 1, it counts as 2 successes, and if you roll below your target number, it counts, as a success. And then if you roll a 20, that's basically like a critical fail. It's going to generate a conflict or an hindrance to the player when that occurs. It also contributes to the pool that the game master has to further complicate future actions against the players if they chose to do so. So those 5 categories of drives are duty, faith, justice, power, and truth. All right, and so they will have skills that fall within those, and then those skill levels. Let's say they have a skill level of a 2, and let's say they have a duty of an 8. Then their target number will be a 10, and then they will work. As they're gaining experience, they will grow their skill level. Not necessarily their drive, but their skill level will grow over time, and then it will increase the amount of their target number. And since it is a roll under system, it will work in their favor. Difficulty can be set, so difficulty can range from a 0 to 5, and that basically is just modifying the target number and lowering the target number with greater difficulty. So improving the odds, so momentum can be spent to assist the test, such as buying extra dice before a skill test. Threat can be generated for the game master instead of spending momentum. So let's say you don't have momentum, but you want to roll 3 d20s instead of just the 2 that you'd be entitled to. What you could do is you could buy that additional die by increasing the amount of threat. So the DM will now have, or the GM I should say, will now have that token, that threat token, that he or she can use at that moment or a later time in order to give advantage to the other side. Determination represents the character putting their all into an action. If you spend a point of determination, choose one of the d20s in your dice pool. That die is considered to have rolled a 1 and does not need to be rolled. It thus scores a critical success automatically. Your character begins play with 1 point of determination and may never have more than 3 points of determination at once. All right. And then there's assistance, is when another character actively assists the character's action. The game master may limit how many characters may assist in a given test. Each assistant selects a drive and skill to create a target number on their own based on how they are helping and rolls a d20, just 1. Assistants cannot buy extra dice themselves. Any success they generate are added to the skill test for the character that the character is attempting, so long as the score at least 1 success of your own. Any complications from anyone involved in the skill test apply to everyone. All right, so you can assist. You're only rolling 1 d20. If you roll a 20 on that, your complication is going to affect everybody involved. And then your number of successes, whether it be 1 success if you made your target number or below, or 2 successes if you rolled a 1, will be added to the successes of the player that you are assisting, or a player character you are assisting. Creating traits, creating assets, obtaining information. Like I said, I'm just doing an overview of this, so I'm not going to go super detailed into breaking this down. If I do buy the full game, I am going to then do a full review of the game system. Threat, we already talked about that. So if the player chooses to buy momentum because they don't have any, they want to buy extra d20s, then they will contribute to the pool that the game master has of threat, and they can buy up to 3 dice. All right, and so they can give the GM up to 3 tokens of threat to be either used during that situation or later on. And it goes into spending threat and what those can be done, and so on. So it's a little jumpy. The PDF is somewhat jumpy here. So there are, let's see what else we have here. We're almost through to where we start dealing with conflict. So the nature of conflict. So forms of conflict, you'll have dueling, skirmishes, warfare, espionage, and intrigue. In social conflict, where secrets, I'm reading intrigue, where secrets and individual agendas are most prominent. Yeah, that's the one thing about conflict that I really like about this, is because DUNE is a very cerebral IP, In other words, you're going to have a lot of espionage and subterfuge and that kind of stuff going on. There's a lot of political wrangling to take place, and then you have the political wars that are going to revolve around the various noble families, including the emperor, having the primary seat. And then you could have all other kinds of like trade federations and those kinds of things, also, and smugglers and whatnot, all mixed in between, those conflicts as well. So there's a lot that could be going on in this setting, and the setting is just really really good. Um, so I'm not going to go again into that. Now, Worm Sign is an adventure that comes with the quick start, and so I highly recommend you read through this before running your first game, or if you're a player, you'll get a good sense of how the game is supposed to work. Here you have a soldier of Harkonnen or rival house, it doesn't matter which, a minor support character. And you can see they have a battle of six. Their focuses are short blade and Mola rifles. They communicate at a 4. This is their target number, right? So not a great chance of rolling high here. They have to roll under these numbers here, but they might have skills that also will increase their chances. And remember, they're rolling 2d20 in order to roll under these skill levels. So, and then they have a focus, so stealth and smuggle under their move and their understanding. So I really like that. I really like the skill types that they have, and then what their possibilities are. And those are really quite low. I think your player character is going to start off with really quite higher numbers in those things. So let's, like I said, here is, I believe, a character. So here is a character, or at least this is a, this is a pre-generated character, let's say. So duty is a 6, faith is a 5, justice is an 8, power is a 4, and truth is a 7. And then their focus skill abilities are innuendo, command, data analysis, deductive reasoning. All right, it starts with their starting assets and their abilities, right? So you have almost perfect recall for even the most complex data. When making an understanding test that applies to recalling data, one of the d20s is in your pool will be considered to have rolled a 1 instead of rolling it. So automatically you're going to have 2 successes because that's what a 1 stands for. So if you're doing something that has a difficulty setting of a 2, let's say, and you're automatically getting 2 successes, you virtually can't fail that. All right, you only need 1 other success to be ultimately successful in it. If it's only a difficulty of a 1, you automatically succeed in it. So really like that. They have certain advantages here in their talents that can limit the amount of rolling that needs to be done. It's truly reflective of a highly skilled or trained character. So, like I said, it's sputtering a little bit, so I don't want to spend too much time with that particular screen. So, going to the next section, I want to now go to here, and I want to see, yes, it's going to be there. So, let's say I decide that I really like this quick start rules. I want to play test it a little bit with some of my players. I want to look out there in the wild and see if Dune 2 is going to give a resurgence for DUNE the RPG, and I'll decide then to back or to buy a greater, input into the game system. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to go here. Now, here is DUNE, and here are all of your choices, right? So, and virtually everything here is in stock, if not everything in stock. Let's see. Oh no. The DUNE, the Great Houses of Landsrod is in print is sold out, but everything else is in stock. Now, I was looking at like, well, how do I really buy into this? And, if I, you have to get the core rule book, right? And let's say I just went with the standard edition at $58. All right. Then I want I do want the Game Master's tool. That's 36. So now I'm around $90 or a little bit over $90. Then you certainly want to get the Masters of DUNE. All right, so DUNE, the Adventures in the Masters of DUNE, which is $51. So you're around $140. Every step keeps on bringing me to the campaign bundle. All right, so $180. So this is not going to be a cheap, endeavor. That's why I want to really, really make sure that I'm actually seeing this in the wild. But what you get for this $180 is quite extensive, right? So you're getting the standard set rule book. You're getting the Game Master's toolkit. You're getting, this looks like the Sand and Dust, which looks like it's an adventure book. You're getting Agents of, this looks like a box set. Agents of Doom, you're getting the card decks, which usually run about $23 a piece, plus all of this other stuff, set of dice. So you're getting a whole lot with this. So the Agents of Doom box set provides a complete adventure and an introduction to the RPG and DUNE universe, including everything you need to start playing with no preparation required. So it's kind of like the introductory box set. So I like that. Masters of Doom campaign book, which is basically the Game Master's book. So for what you're getting everything, everything that you'll need for $180. It's not so far out of bounds of what your AA or your AAA TTRPGs are running. And again, you're getting all of the other access points that this IP is giving you, right? So it's not like it's a one and done. You will, and like I said, I'm hoping to see it more so in the wild. I went to Roll20 and I only seen one individual running for a ridiculous amount of money, to pay to play. And that was the only one on Roll20. Now, I don't know if it has greater support in Foundry or in Fantasy Grounds. I just went to Roll20 to see how many instances do I see this running. Now, that may change with the new, products coming out. So let's see if they have an announcement on their new products. So this is the Adventures of Imperium. They should have on here a coming soon. Let's see. So the Fall of the Imperium. So this is the new coming out. The stock is coming soon. It's $51, and this is going to be the campaign source book. So this is an extension of the other campaign, and so this will have some This is a pre-order, shipping expected to start mid-March. So, hey, not too far off. So again, very, very smart in coinciding with the very, very smart in coinciding with the release of the new movie. So, one thing Modiphius is doing really well is marketing. They know how to market their stuff, and that shouldn't be something that's that's not recognized. Furthermore, so let me change this and let's go to my Steam screen, and there we go. So here is my Steam, and why can't I go to this? So anyway, so this is Dune: The Awakening, and it is an MMO, and its planned release date is going to be announced. I would assume that this is going to be very, very soon. I'm expecting that this will probably come out sometime in March, April time frame. I don't know how long they've been working on this. I'd have to do some research there, but again, put out by Funcom, so definitely want to check this thing out. And it's on my wish list, and it's probably something that I will jump into. I mean, it looks phenomenal. You can see just that there, how great this really looks. And even though this is a cutscene, they are very, very good at at producing high quality visual in actual gameplay as well. So excited about this. And I think that this will really drive and kind of work together with those other aspects of this IP. And so you will see support for, this tabletop role-playing game in both video games, in movies, and in additional support through Modiphius at the tabletop level as well. So super excited about it. Again, I'm going to go through the quick start, check it out, and then probably once I get past my next convention, which is going to cost me probably about $400 or $500, or at least $400, but probably about $500 to $600 once all is said and done, then I will start looking at picking up sometime in April or May, and decide at that point if I'm going to go full in with Dune the RPG. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave your comments in there. If you've been playing Dune for a while, please jump in the comments section. Let me know how it works. I'm pretty familiar with the 2D20 system, and I can certainly see how it probably works really well with this particular setting, just like it did with the Conan. So I do expect that is going to be really well done. And let's look forward to the further expansion of this IP from both Modiphius and then Funcom and so on. So thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video, and I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or at a convention sometime soon. You all have a great rest of your day. Take care.